another, when we can engage in commerce with one another, when we can build partnerships with one another. And I think that partnership, the partnership of the United States and Azerbaijan, will lead to greater peace and prosperity in the region. It will lead to more access to more markets for the workers of the United States of America, and it's just going to create a much better world where people are engaging in commerce with one another rather than fighting with one another. And I think that is the core of the President of the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen,
mission and foreign policy is this recognition that we can organize around shared interests and actually build something great with one another. We signed a strategic partnership, which I think will formalize that partnership and make it very clear that the United States-Azerbaijan relationship is one that will stick, is one that will continue to produce great fruits for both of our peoples. And just on a personal note, I'm incredibly
like with all the Super Bowl, I'm like
to be
so
here. I was telling
out
my
of
staff
the
before we
loop
landed
with like
that
what's
other than
going
President
on in
Trump,
the Trump cabinet. I mean, it feels like
the only leader in the world that has
been
really
that
good
much
relations with
lately.
both the Turks and
Let's see.
the Israelis is President Aliyev. And I said, so that means one, the food must be really good here, or two, he must be really charming. I can confirm that he's very charming. We're going to find out in a little bit about the food, and I'm sure it will be great. But let me just say that the Second Lady and I are very pleased to be having dinner later today. And as I understand it, the Vice President of Azerbaijan is also the President's wife. Hopefully that doesn't give the Second Lady any ideas. But I just want to say that
20s in case they get
on a personal note, but also because of the friendship of our great nations, I'm very honored to be here.
I mean, what do we see?
And very honored to continue the discussion. God bless you.
Paid agitators still a strike. Kidnapping. I guess I could talk about what happened with that anchor. When is White House coming up? Vance in Azerbaijan.
The Vice President, J.D. Vance, from earlier today with the Azerbaijan leadership and agreements being reinforced and the Peace Through Strength agenda on full display. Thank you to our sponsors here on the right side of history. With storms and disruptions happening across the country recently, so essential to have these life-saving medications on hand with travel backed up, deliveries, even access to care. Many Americans reminded how important it is to have these life-saving prescriptions ready to go. Choose freedom, choose the right pharmacy. It's allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN, code RSBN10 for 10% off now. Imagine already having a flu medication kit at home, or even blood pressure medication when the next storm hits, literally or even figuratively speaking. And All Family Pharmacy does just that with Tamiflu and ivermectin, antibiotics, antivirals to hydrochloroquine, NAD+, methylene blue, and so many more, including mebendazole. Great to have on hand for you. 300 plus essential medications, emergency medical kits that patients can receive from a licensed U.S. physician, writing the prescription on the other side, reviewing the order, and set right to your door. So it's the height of convenience mixed with going against the traditional pharmacy that might be in the pocket of big pharmacy. We know that issue has been crucial in states and at the federal level, and sometimes they simply don't prescribe these life-saving medications listed there on your screen. Allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN, your go-to, where no waiting rooms, no insurance roadblocks, no last-minute urgent care visits will be bothering you, but rather having those great essential medications when you're sick, ready to go on hand, whether at home or traveling. Allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. Scan the QR code there for 10% off.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a little out of the loop with what the hell's been happening in
at allfamilypharmacy.com.
Admin lately.
Thank you for being loyal viewers to your go-to Live Desk Rally Network and your election headquarters for the midterm. Support us right here at Right Side Broadcasting Network.
Once again, I have zero positions going into this.
Network.com/donate or text RSBN to 801-801. Or send that check or money order to
what is actually happening in the Trump admin lately? There's just like not that much. I mean, there could be a shutdown.
The loveliest village on the plains, Auburn, Alabama, 36830.
What do they really talk about here? There's just such little news. How was my Super Bowl? I made about 11K on the Super Bowl, mostly from the mention market, and then played a few other markets, did okay. Overall, I mean, look, that's great numbers that I'm happy about, you know, but
in the James S. Brady briefing room.
I wish I sized up a lot more for Super Bowl because I feel
to touch
like
on a number of highlights.
There was so
the White House
much
sending
free
an
money.
email
I mean, not free
regarding
money's
all
not
of
the
the
right word. Okay, there's never free
successes
money.
and reminding folks,
but
you don't need to be a
there were
panicking,
very good opportunities for Super Bowl. That I should have taken.
The great work
so I wish I sized up, but my mindset going into it was that there was going to be really good opportunities
with this push toward voter ID
live during the game in the sports markets because there were just so many props. So I kept most of my port liquid going into it. And then because it wasn't a close game, there just weren't many opportunities. So I wish I had
in the White House
deployed more cash
Capitol Hill,
before
so that
the
will
game.
ultimately go to the president's desk if passed. And of course, Democrats on the other side of the aisle really.
Oh, okay. Let me lower the. Okay, how's the mic now? Is this better? Is it kind of balanced too, or is it?
Friday the 13th.
Is it?
We will see what happens there.
Coming in like
Capitol
different
Hill.
spots.
In the meantime, the highlights of what's happening here.
All right,
with
I turned down
ID,
RSBN. I wanted people to hear RSBN ads though. Did I hold my Cardi B nose? I actually sold out a Cardi B nose. Someone told me that like some big sports betting syndicate was like going on Cardi B, yes, and it kind of spooked me. So I didn't have a big position. I only had like a few thousand shares of Cardi B, no. But I just because I lost money on Gaga. I actually had a decent position on no Gaga the day that she started pumping, and I foolishly was thinking maybe there's a chance people didn't see the clarification or a misunderstanding that the commercial wouldn't count. But obviously it turned out that they had an informational advantage to me. I'll say that. So yeah, I sold out of my Gaga position, and I'm happy I didn't continue sizing up into it. I know a lot of people that did. It's just important, like when something turns south, like do not necessarily size up, right? That's giving you new information. So I'm happy I only lost $1,200 on that market. All right, but yeah, I got to figure out what the hell they're talking about today. I'm just with Super Bowl everything. I've just been so out of the loop with what's going on in the Trump admin. I mean, people were saying they like nose here. I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards like, yeah, what are they going to talk about here? I mean, there's not that much going on.
Percent of Democrats, just 16% of Americans are in opposition to this, so it's something that's uniting all Americans.
I guess Nancy Guthrie is her mom still out there, or no? Have they recovered? Okay, so she's still missing. So that's still in the news. Could obviously come up early.
When registering to vote for the first time.
Chicken Joe, for Kalshi, a company employee has to say the word. So it would not count if the equity research analyst asked the question. FBI just released pick of suspect 20 minutes ago. Interesting. I mean, she opened with the whole FBI thing last time. I think.
Americans agree, and you might have seen during the Super Bowl, NBC Nightly News.
I mean, now FBI is kind of fairly priced. Last mention, it was like in the 70s, and I thought about hitting the bid. I don't know why I waited.
But the vast majority of Democrats on Capitol Hill oppose them.
But I don't know. Like, is this just going to be like a midterm thing where they're just going to harp on all of Trump's, like accomplishments? Oh, White House Stream Live, guys. White House Stream Live. Let me pull it up. I'll get White House Stream up so we can get away from RSBN. Even though I love my boys at RSBN, guys. But yeah, FBI seems right. It's at 90, so I actually think if the FBI doesn't hit out in the open, then quickly buying nose and trying to flip them, probably a good play, because I think they'll steam towards no if she doesn't say it in the open, because people are expecting her to just come out and what's he just talked about stock market. What's stock market at? Hey, stock market in the 70s? Don't mind if I do. Come on, White House. It's live on YouTube.
And retirement savings are literally booming under President Trump's
Let me pull this up.
Growth policies, proving the economy is roaring back stronger than ever. In an unprecedented show of national security as well. The past week, ICE arrested 650 illegal aliens in West Virginia.
Why does White House say? White House has no upcoming. Wait, are you guys seeing this?
ICE continues removing convicted murderers, drug traffickers, sex offenders, child abusers, also domestic abusers, money launderers, and scores of other dangerous criminal illegals. In Minnesota as well, Operation Metro Surge has already
pretty weird. The
4,000 criminal
White House
off of the
stream is
streets,
saying
and
this so far, but obviously this is not
also,
true.
The agenda for this administration
Yeah, I was looking at AP, but
on Capitol Hill, ending the barbaric mutilation of children. Minnesota's largest children's
yeah, no, I know the briefing's obviously coming up. It's just weird that White House would post that. Like what is happening with the White House intern?
Institutions finally backing down.
The only thing with the AP one is it's only in one ear, so it's just like
to protect American children. Now,
I can only hear it in my right ear. I don't know what's wrong
surgeons came out
with the freaking camera people.
to
Oh, I don't know why the audio people always suck.
for children, becoming the first major medical group.
Let me
to do
mute
so. Now,
AP
court
stream.
is also locking in tough immigration enforcement. A federal appeals court just updated and upheld the Trump administration's policy of detaining.
You have not been outside in 13 days? What the hell?
Validating the
Get
strong
outside,
measures that
dude.
have driven illegal crossings to historic lows and sent a crystal clear message under President Trump. If you enter illegally,
It's the
you will be
Obama
detained
video.
and
Honestly,
arrested.
imagine being that White House
Across
intern and accidentally leaving that on
record low after record high
on
crime
there.
across the country under Joe Biden's defund the
Yeah,
police era.
this feels like
Murder
it's
has
just going to
plunged
be
to
a freaking
125-year low across the country
like
as crime falls
celebratory
across the board. Now,
briefing
according
for
to
Trump, because I don't know what other news
data after the Trump administration
they'll probably
surged, federal
potentially
resources
cover
into
like
crime
ICE again.
plagued Washington, D.C.
I don't know.
The district
ICE
went
National
3
Guard
weeks
no
into
at
the new year
13.
before
I'll take
recording
it
his
if I
first
can.
homicide for the first time.
But
The
pretty
nation's
small
capital had gone
size
more than
there.
10
She'll probably
days
hit it
into
right
a
in the
new
open,
year
but let's see.
without a murder in at least 3 decades. Everyday costs continue to moderate.
We're
here
winning. We're
in
not
the
slowing down.
States. The national median rents falling to a 4-year
Do I
low
like Trump RX?
following 6 consecutive
From
monthly
Caroline?
declines, while mortgage affordability has surged
Has this like tanked?
4-year highs.
Why is this
following
tanked so
President
much?
Trump's bold action to make
I mean,
affordable
I would have definitely bought nose in the 15s.
affordable.
I'm
Again,
surprised this is
PepsiCo
like.
announcing price cuts of up to 15%.
I mean, Trump RX is kind of the only
for
shit
brands,
that
and
Trump
President
like
Trump
really
launching
announced last week.
TrumpRx.gov, a transformative
But
new government platform that gives Americans direct
I probably
access to
like Trump RX.
dramatically lower prices
And
on
honestly,
common,
now that it's back in the
high-cost
60s, maybe it is a
prescription
good buy.
drugs. There's a reason consumer sentiment has
Let me
spiked to a
see.
6-month high. As border remains sealed up during all of these
Website went live 5 days ago. Feels like they got to speak on it.
Unprecedented 9th straight month, there were 0 illegal border crossings at
Has she explicitly mentioned
border,
it in any
an
of her
achievement
last speeches? Let me
unparalleled
pull up
in modern
transcripts.
history. Now, these wins aren't happening by accident. They come after President Trump logged the most productive first year of a presidential term in modern history.
Trump RX.
President Trump's promise to make America great again,
She talked about it last week.
delivering bigger, faster, and harder.
She
than
said they
ever.
will unveil
The
Trump
momentum
RX.
completely unstoppable, as we're seeing that on a daily basis. Don't be a
Huh.
mannequin. America winning again.
Why is someone
More
buying
things are coming
nose?
that
Why did this tank so much?
We'll watch all of that, including some of the goals of not only passing the Save America Act,
White House stream is
to work
updated?
this week,
Okay.
but also to fund
All right,
the
let me pull up
government
White House
in a
stream.
move the Democrats did just late last year that did not favor really anyone in the process, but also this administration focused on bringing down not only mortgage costs and overall
Someone
costs
like
of
Mog Trump RX. No.
affordability for this country, but
Interesting.
the delays and interest
Okay.
and the penalties.
Let's get that guy out of there. We got White House stream up. I don't know. I might not. I'm trying to like figure out these prices. I didn't have time to look at this much before. Like I said, I was on another stream, but Dow is hitting all-time highs this week. She could open with stock market. I mean, she could, but I'll buy nose in the 70s. She doesn't really use stock market language. But if I can't get filled in the 70s, I'm not gonna like chase this up to the 80s. Because you're right. I mean, that substance does change it. I just don't think Caro, she just doesn't really use the stock market language much. Like, this just feels like it's going to be some type of victory lap. She'll talk about, let's see, election in the 80s. I mean, they're definitely going to talk about election law. Tariff is cheap, too. Is anything happening with tariffs, though? I mean, it is cheap, but like it's clearly been a huge downward trend with tariffs lately. Will she get excited about Kid Rock? Yeah, I mean, there's honestly maybe a chance. She did call it by name last briefing, Nearby Limit. She said Trump RX twice in last week. So she definitely has used Trump RX before. I don't know what transcripts you're using. China's interesting because Trump did mention that he's meeting with Xi Jinping last week. I think that was after the briefing. DHS funding, likely a big topic. Yeah, as we're going into a potential another government shutdown. I don't know. I'm kind of rushed to try to find something. I might not even go into this with positions, but let me see. Trump accounts can definitely talk. They did do that whole Turning Point. Where's Turning Point coming from? Oh, the Turning Point event. Oh my gosh. How is Turning Point in the 20s? Is that fair? FBI released video footage of the guy who got Nancy got 3. Yeah, I mean, I think FBI is like close to a bond, but like it's 88. I mean, I'm not going to really buy that high probably. Epstein files? What did the Hill say on Epstein files? They only brought it up like once and she weaved it last time. I mean, how high can Epstein be? I guess it's 28 now, 29. Do you really think she's going to even give much light? I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of priced in here. If anything, I'd probably maybe like I wouldn't take no's in the 70s for Epstein. We took it last week because it was like in the 30s is when I got Epstein no. I wouldn't say she never does, but you're right that it's fairly infrequent. But she has done it a few times, but you know, I think only at like 4 press briefings in recent times has she really mentioned Epstein. All right, let me just drill down my data a little bit. Let's go back to like 07. Okay. Maybe we accumulate some cheap guesses. Like, what is this reporting on the Hill on Epstein questions? They definitely want to avoid it. I agree, but Epstein file scrutiny rises as DOJ unredacts more names, says the Hill. Of course, all this shit's paywalled, possible to access. Oh, I have to sign up for a report to continue reading. Everything wants my freaking email address. Gosh. Yeah, I don't know. This is such a weird briefing. There's like there's no news. Like FBI's going to come out in the open. Maybe they'll say some stuff about voter ID. All right, what's RxDO? Press briefing also comes lawmakers review unredacted files trying to fix sex offenders. Pam Bondi having a hearing this week related to Epstein, so possible. Yeah, I mean, I think probably a decent chance Epstein will continue to come down. I'm not getting any fills on my open orders right now. I don't know if I will. So I guess I might just buy everything live. People are saying she's going to be really late too, by the way. I don't think they have markets on timing for this. What is Caro? There's just a ton on photo ID. You have the ad for Trump accounts. Is there just like a blanket Trump mention? Home housing is priced pretty high. Iran news in Israel. Like, what's really happening there? Iran talks at Trump meeting. Oh, Olympics. That's kind of an interesting one. At 50-50. I know it's really hard to give a fair value, right? Because this is just something on like, is she going to obviously, this isn't like a recurring strike, but probably you would think a good chance she's going to talk about the Olympics. I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty slow news day. All right, so they're talking negotiations with Iran. So Netanyahu's coming to Iran to the U.S. this week. Narco terrorist, you think is coming? Starmer's government is collapsing over Epstein. Wow, really? This Epstein thing is getting that big? So tomorrow is Trump Netanyahu. See, I have been out of the loop with these mentions. So that's kind of the big news, is Netanyahu meeting tomorrow, I guess. If she doesn't come out... Wow, yeah, it is big in Europe right now. UK having resignations left and right. Crazy, man. This stuff has dragged on for years. Yeah, there's nothing really related to Israel or Iran. Okay, we got some stock market notes. So at least we have one position. Let's see. Is she going to come out and talk about the roaring stock market? I've made so much money just taking notes on stock market. Oh, apparently AP Stream is kind of showing this might center around tax refunds. Yeah, I just checked it. Apparently this could... Wow. They flashed the screen talking about largest tax refund season in American history for like a second on the AP stream. But like, what is her language even on? But there's nothing really for tax refunds. But I mean, that tells us this is going to just be like a victory lap for Trump. More purchasing power. So this is just going to be a victory lap. What does she say around tax refunds, though? Refund equals credit? I don't know necessarily she's going to... Foster, I have like no positions yet, but did you see this? Have you guys seen this? Look what I just sent Foster and Mentions Cave on the whole tax refund thing. That's why I'm saying, like, there's something... It's going to center around this. Like, affordability actually in the 60s, I mean... Yeah, I still don't even like that. If she doesn't say affordability in the open, I definitely will pick up some no's with this in the 30s. I mean, I get that tax refund will talk about this, but right now, Foster, my only play is stock market no. I mean, I'm going to see if this keeps going pretty high. I mean, I like it at 76. Doesn't seem like people are going to keep mogging it. All right, let me just write out some of these things. Well, Jay Schwartz, I'm not saying it's a recap of his year. Sorry if I'm like I just think like it's going to be a victory lap of like Trump accounts, Trump RX, tax refunds, saving dollars. She'll probably talk in the open about the whole FBI thing with Guthrie's mother. I believe I got the name right. And then she'll definitely talk about kind of the meeting with Netanyahu, but there's not even an Israel strike anymore. Is there? Bigger tax refunds because of revenue from tariffs. I don't think that's their talking point really for these tax refunds. At least I don't. Oh, actually. Oh no. That's her. That's when she talks about affordability. Like when I look at these historical transcripts, I'm only looking at like the paragraphs, but I don't see. I don't see like tariff as a direct link in some of her last speeches. Mr. Nick, I don't know. I'm kind of speed looking at this. I just jumped off like a 2-hour stream. Like I said, I haven't had like a ton to look at this. So far I've picked up some no's on stock market, but like I mean, Kid Rock, Turning Point are all kind of interesting. I feel like if she doesn't mention it in the open, then you got to kind of think to buy no's. I guess you could get a Super Bowl question. Kid Rock / Turning Point. No's if not said in open. Tariff as a link to the bridge dispute. I don't know if I'd know stock market on a booming day. Yeah, I mean, really, the fact that it's a booming day is why I'm getting a better price on no stock market, right? This normally trades at like 85 for no. So I'm basically calling the bluff on like her using stock market as a talking point. I think she's pretty careful for whatever reason to not usually bring up stock market. It could definitely come up. I don't think 76 is fair value for no. I think it's at least 80, maybe 85 based on how she usually talks. All right, Kid Rock, Turning Point. I mean, FBI, if it's not said in the open, it's going to steam towards no or just pump towards no. I don't know why I started using steam all of a sudden as terminology. I'm probably not even using it correctly. Another record month of border crossing no. I mean, the data is publicly available, Tico. The White House like stores all past transcripts for this stuff. You can just Google like Caroline Leavitt transcript. All right, so I'm definitely not going to get an entry here into ICE National Guard. No. How much would I pay for Israel? Yes. Not that high, but like, why no Biden strike? You want me to bond Biden? Oh, wow. Okay, I did get a few fills here. Cool. I mean, I don't think this is going to hold, by the way. ICE National Guard, no. It's more so just like I can probably try to flip it mid-speech, FYI. Like, I probably won't hold the whole speech. Maybe I will. I just think if she doesn't, like, hit it right in the open on ICE National Guard, it's like, yeah, it probably obviously going to come up, but What is terrorist, narco-terrorist? That hit super late last time, right? Did she like hit that right in the end? She did bring up terrorists. But that's all about ICE in Minnesota. I don't know. I'm probably not going to buy nose on terrorists in the 60s. Kid Rock and Turning Point, yes. I don't know. I actually could see that. So I don't think that's a terrible buy. I'm kind of debating it in the 20s. How much has Trump been truthing about it? Let me check. Oh, I guess I have to switch my mic to mono. Give me a sec. I thought I was already on mono. All right. Mic is officially on mono. I'm sorry for anyone that I wrecked with in your ears. Now you will hear me in both ears perfectly. Orange Idiot has started saying ice again. Fair. But you remember the ways he's been saying it. The way he said it at the freaking prayer breakfast was he called Greenland like an ice place, right? Or was that the one before it? I don't know. I lost some money on that. I think I lost like $1,000 on that speech because I had a lot of ice snow. But let's see. I think there's a lot of things you could focus on with economy and stuff like that. So, all right. Only thing I have right now is, yeah, ice, no. Stock market, no. I didn't prepare heavily for these beforehand, Otico. I was just on another 2-hour stream before this with a friend. Police? I mean, let me look at police. I would put police at a pretty high fair. Well, actually, I'd probably put police fair value like maybe at least 70, almost up to 80. Yes, I guess it would be my estimate. Just napkin math, because you have what's going on with the investigation. There's just a lot of ways for her to talk about local authorities and police. You're getting no shares at 15? Yeah. It's probably right around like fair value, a little bit of edge. All right, Caro, come on. How late is she going to be? You're getting yes shares at 15 cents for police? What? That's bizarre. For Caroline Levitt? What the hell? Hunter Hess strike? I know. I'm sorry, Bipop. It's probably on me. Yeah, I mean, well, Yamete, make sure this is a scheduled speech that counts for Poly. Sometimes they like mix stuff up. Like you just got to make sure. I think they actually made their rules standard now, so this will for sure count. But yeah, I mean, if you can get that at 15, that's a freaking great buy. What the hell? Wait, ideas? So this is Super Bowl money? Okay, that means I have to go big on this, Foster, but I don't even know. I don't even know what to go. All right, let me look. Dude, ideas is jumping. This is Super Bowl money here. All right, what else is... Bad Bunny. Is she really going to mention Bad Bunny? Does Trump mention Bad Bunny? Should I just like Mog no Bad Bunny? Okay, Ideas is going crazy. This is my moment that I need to just size up. I just haven't been looking at all these. Okay, what the hell? Let me check Trump truths. Let me see mentions for. I gotta look at Trump truths really quick. Does Trump even name Bad Bunny? Like, she's not gonna mention Bad Bunny by name. Okay, I'm just gonna load up in here. Are people gonna fill this? Like, what is she gonna say? Bad Bunny's a like bad person or something? What the hell? All right, protester 24 cents. Yeah, I guess that's okay. I'm not gonna. Supreme Court only 28 cents. Has anything happened with the Supreme Court? Terrorist, narco terrorist. I can see her getting a Super Bowl question as a lead into a second one. Yeah, even if she gets a Super Bowl question, I'm not afraid of Bad Bunny really coming up. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong in that. I guess I'll lose a bunch of money if I am. But, like, why? She's going to say, like, that she doesn't like the halftime performance. I don't think she's going to name Bad Bunny. Illegal Alien at 82? I mean, it's probably good for yes. Like, I would buy Yes Turning Point and Yes Kid Rock way before I'd buy Bad Bunny now. People are commenting that they're buying Bad Bunny and Ideas. Let's see if... she says what all the time? Oh, Illegal Alien? Yeah, she does say Illegal Alien all the time. I mean, I think it's probably a great buy if you got it at 82. Oh, I need to get more positions, man. What? I wish I prepped for this more. Trump RX honestly feels good in the 60s. When was that Trump RX thing that Trump did last week? I guess she's going to be more forward looking, though. That's the only reason I don't want to take Trump RX. Yes, maybe in the 60s. I don't know. Olympics 55-45. Let's see. Healthcare. There's got to be something better. Of course, I'm not getting any Bad Bunny. I'm just jumped all the way up to freaking 84. God, can some flow please buy Bad Bunny? Yes. What about Kidnap? No. I mean, you guys know why they're going to talk about Kidnap, right? Like, you guys just be aware it's because of the whole Guthrie's mom getting kidnapped. So, wait, but what is Kidnap at? That's why, right? Am I crazy? Let me see. What did she say last press briefing? Wait, dude, she didn't even say Kidnap last press briefing. Huh. She didn't say Kidnap last press briefing when she talked about the whole Guthrie situation. Wait, people are saying she did say it last time. Do I have bad data? Why is it not showing in my data? Bad Bunny kidnapped the Super Bowl? Let me make sure I'm not. White House press briefing, transcript, Feb 4. Caroline press briefing. Wait, do I not have... Is my transcript tool delayed? I honestly could see the turning point. Okay, here we go. It's starting. I'm too late to even buy anything else. Let's just see.
Thank you for coming today. I apologize for the delay. I was once again with the president. He and I were both reviewing the newly released surveillance footage from FBI in the Savannah Guthrie case on just this heartbreaking
FBI hit right
situation with respect to her mother. The president encourages any American across the country with any knowledge of the suspect to please call the FBI, who continue to assist state and local authorities who are leading this investigation on the ground. And once again, I will reiterate that the prayers of this entire White House are with Savannah and her family at this time, and we hope this person is found soon and that her mother is brought home safely. President Trump has a very busy week ahead, so I will begin with some scheduling announcements today. Tomorrow here at the White House, the president will host Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for a bilateral meeting. The remainder of the week will be focused on energy and deregulation. Tomorrow afternoon, the president will hold an event in the East Room to tout clean, beautiful coal as America's most reliable and affordable energy source, especially during periods of peak demand, just as we saw during this most recent winter.
This is bonding so slowly, dude.
Storm, which impacted hundreds of millions of Americans. The president will discuss how clean, beautiful coal is not only keeping the lights on in our country, but also driving down the cost of electricity across the country as well.
This is bonding very
Additionally, on Thursday, President Trump will be joined by Administrator Lee Zeldin to formalize the rescission of the 2009 Obama-era endangerment finding. This will be the largest deregulatory action in American history, and it will save the American people $1.3 trillion in crushing regulations. The bulk of the savings will stem from reduced costs for new vehicles, with the EPA projecting average per vehicle savings of more than $2,400 for popular light-duty cars, SUVs, and trucks. This is just one more way this administration is working to make life more affordable for everyday Americans.
She's hammering affordability.
Overall, these groundbreaking actions from President Trump will drive larger economic growth, create thousands of good-paying jobs, expand manufacturing, increase consumer choice, and improve affordability for millions of families and businesses.
So they're using that language, man.
Finally, on Friday, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump will travel to Fort Bragg in the great state of North Carolina to meet with military families and the heroic members of our special forces who carried out the successful Operation Absolute Resolve in Venezuela and helped bring
narco-terrorist is coming right here.
Narco-terrorist Nicolas Maduro to justice.
Yeah,
I know the president and First Lady are both greatly looking forward to this visit.
Weird.
Also, the First Lady will celebrate Valentine's Day at the Children's Inn at the National Institute of Health tomorrow with children, families, and NIH staff involved in clinical trials.
All right, Bad Bunny is just...
In other news this week, thanks to President Trump signing the largest middle-class tax cut in history, this is shaping up to be the biggest tax refund season ever, and we are in it now. President Trump and Republicans fundamentally believe that Americans deserve to keep more of their hard-earned money, not less, which is why he fought so hard to deliver this long-overdue relief. From no tax on tips, overtime, or Social Security to auto loan interest deductions on new American-made vehicles, plus increases to the standard deduction in child tax credit, more money is flowing
see where it moves
back into the pockets of hardworking Americans. We're already hearing from everyday Americans across the country who are reporting substantial tax savings thanks to the working families tax cut, which every single Democrat in Congress voted against. AMAC, which represents millions of Americans, has heard directly from more than their 1,000 members already about how the Trump tax cuts are easing cost of living concerns. I wanted to share a few of those powerful responses with you today.
Okay.
This one comes from Dean and Wendy in Wisconsin, who says, quote, instead of paying out $3,700 last year, we got back $2,500 in refunds this year. This is huge for our family. Steve from California said, quote, the new senior citizen deduction is a tremendous relief and has given us peace of mind and the freedom to truly enjoy the retirement years we worked so hard for. Eric from Nevada said, as a senior, no tax on Social Security helps me tremendously. The no tax on tips helps my daughter-in-law as a waitress. The no tax on overtime helps my son, who works constantly. Our family savings from the One Big Beautiful Bill could total even more than $5,000. We love the Trump tax cuts.
We love
These are
Trump.
Just a few positive examples of the everyday Americans that President Trump's tax cuts are uplifting. We'd love to hear more from the American people
Who's buying stock market,
across the country who are benefiting from the working families tax cuts. The White House is also pleased to share that parents across the country can now officially apply to open a Trump account for their child. In order to apply, parents can visit trumpaccounts.gov and fill out the IRS form 4547.
They could hit.
These Trump accounts are special investment accounts aimed at providing American
This is where it could hit. If they
children
talk about
with a jump start on building wealth for life. They have all the tax advantages as a traditional IRA account, but are specifically tailored to build wealth the moment a child is born. Thanks to President Trump, every child born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028 is eligible to receive $1,000 from the U.S. Treasury
she might
to fund
say
their
invested
account.
in the stock market here.
Parents, guardians, and even nonprofits can then contribute up to
We need to dodge this.
$5,000 per year. Employers can also contribute up to $2,500 per year per employee. President Trump believes there is no better investment than investing in our nation's children. If you are a parent
Okay, we just need to survive stock
who
market
maximizes contributions to your child's Trump account, its projected value could reach nearly $1.1 million by the time your child turns 28 years old, based on average historical stock market returns.
There it is.
Safe to say the Trump accounts will give a substantial head start
I
to
should have
position
actually
the next generation for a brighter future. And with the stock market exploding under President Trump's pro-growth policies, there has never been a better time to sign up for an investment account like this. The Dow Jones just shattered 50,000 for the first time ever on Friday, and the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ continue smashing record
That was
after
just
record.
a straight bad
So with
buy.
President Trump in charge,
That's
Americans'
not even variance.
401ks and retirement savings are booming once again, and these new Trump accounts for America's kids will boom too. So with that, once again,
Okay, she's opening it up to
again, every
questions
parent
here.
should go to trumpaccounts.gov today, and I'm going to put it on my own personal to-do list to sign up for one as well. With that, I will take your questions. Caroline Downey from the National Review is here. Thank you for being here, and why don't you kick us off?
Thank you for having me. On the criticism that immigration enforcement has become
Okay, here's immigration enforcement
arbitrary
question.
or not
Probably
particularly
icier.
prioritizing, Democrats have been circulating the statistic that only 14% of illegal aliens arrested under this administration are violent criminals, but we know that in deep blue cities with progressive district attorneys, it's common to plead down serious violent crimes into less serious offenses, which could be distorting those numbers. So given that backdrop, does the administration still stand by the messaging that you're targeting the worst of the worst, and does this prevailing narrative tell the whole story?
Well, thank you for bringing this up, Caroline. I've seen this CBS report floating around. There's a lot of liberal talking heads and pundits and Democrat elected politicians who think that this single story and these statistics and the way they are painted is somehow a shot at this administration. It is not, and let me correct the record. Number one, the Trump administration has been clear from day one that any illegal alien present in this country is subject to deportation.
Border was getting
However,
bonded
the
in
priority, of
97
course,
early.
is going after the convicted criminals, the worst of the worst, the murderers, the pedophiles, the rapists in this country. Interestingly, in the CBS story, what the Democrat talking heads on television are not saying is this line. Nearly 60% of ICE arrestees over the past year had criminal charges or convictions. And among that population, the majority of the criminal charges or
ICE
convictions
with no border.
are for nonviolent crimes. Oh, well, what are nonviolent crimes, you ask? This has coincided with what DHS has been saying all along, that approximately 70% of illegal aliens arrested under President Trump have pending criminal charges and or prior convictions, and these so-called nonviolent crimes: drug trafficking, distribution of child porn, burglary, fraud, DUI, embezzlement, solicitation of a minor, and human smuggling, just to name a few. Just because a crime is not violent in nature doesn't mean that crime is victimless, and I can guarantee every single person who is out there on television right now pointing to these statistics that were taken out of context by CBS News would not want an illegal alien convicted of the distribution of child porn or fraud or DUI living in your community. So the Trump administration will continue our focus on deporting all illegal aliens present in our country with a focus on the worst of the worst criminals. Thank you for being here. Gabe.
Caroline, thank you. And thank you for the update on our colleague Savannah Guthrie's mother. Is there anything more you can share? You said the president was reviewing that surveillance footage. What was his initial reaction when seeing those disturbing images, and does he believe that that suspect acted alone?
I haven't talked to him specifically about this.
All right, stream, what is happening?
Second point on whether the suspect acted alone or not, so I don't want to weigh in on the president's thinking on that. His initial reaction, of course, as all Americans, is just pure disgust. And again, it's heartbreaking to see now this footage really bring to life a story we've all been reading about. And again, we're just praying for the safety of Nancy Guthrie and that she will return home soon. And the president directed me to please encourage all Americans with any information to call the FBI, and we hope that this case will come to a positive resolution as soon as possible.
We, of course, have a lot to talk about in a completely separate topic. I was hoping you can clarify something that's come up over the last several days, again, regarding a separate topic, in the Epstein files.
Epstein question.
According to newly released files, the president had a conversation with the Palm Beach police chief in the early 2000s.
Here we go. Is she going to say it?
According to the police chief in 2019. The president has gone on record before, and he's told reporters that he said that he had no idea about Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. During this conversation with the police chief, however, he did say, according to this recounting of it, that thank goodness you're stopping him. He also called Ghislaine Maxwell evil. My two questions are, did that conversation with the Palm Beach police chief happen, and can you explain the discrepancy?
What I will say is that the president has always remained consistent, and that he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his club at Mar-a-Lago because, frankly, Jeffrey Epstein was a creep.
She's going on a
And unlike many other people who are named in these files,
maybe we should have gotten Epstein yeses with
Trump
what they
cut
were
off
saying
his relationship with Jeffrey
Epstein. The fact this got to 28
and was honest and
super cheap.
Transparent about that for years and years. And so I think what the president has said all along has always remained true. And the release of more than 3 million documents related to Jeffrey Epstein and his heinous, disgusting crimes just shows the level of transparency that this president and administration has committed to in bringing these files to light.
Did he call the chief in 2006? Caroline, did he call the chief?
Look, it was a phone call that may or may not have happened in 2006. I don't know the answer to that question. What I'm telling you is that what President Trump has always said is that he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago club because Jeffrey Epstein was a creep, and that remains true. And this call, if it did happen, corroborates exactly what President Trump has said from the beginning. And I'm sure many of you, when you read that alleged FBI report, probably thought to yourself, wow, this really cracks our narrative that we've been trying to push about this president for many years. So we're moving on from that. Reagan.
Thanks, Caroline. I want to ask you about the SAVE Act. NBC reported that there's some hesitation among House Republicans on adding absentee ballot restrictions.
Election kind of question?
Can you explain what the hesitation is among House Republicans? And
it's
also
lagging intentionally. I fast forward the feed. This is how you get lowest latency.
I can't speak for House Republicans, Reagan. I can obviously speak for the president, who is quite possibly the strongest supporter of the Save America Act, which, as you know, would require proof of citizenship to register to vote. It would require proof of identification, a photo identification before casting a ballot. And it would also ensure that there are exceptions made. I think that's what you're alluding to with these conversations with House Republicans for reasonable requests, of course, for our military, for individuals who are disabled and cannot make it to the polls. Those are reasonable common sense things that I believe House Republicans are discussing amongst themselves. But as for the president, he's been very very clear. He wants House Republicans and Democrats, too, if they were politically wise, to pass this legislation, for the Senate to pass it, to send it to the president's desk so it can be signed into law.
Wow, no election mention.
Follow-up, I'm wondering when the last time the president spoke to Leader Thune was, and he discussed using the standing filibuster to pass legislation.
The president has given his position on the standing filibuster. As for his most recent conversation with Leader Thune, frankly, I'm not sure. I do know they speak very frequently. The president's in constant communication with both Leader Thune and the House Speaker, Mike Johnson. Stephen, I see we switched up our seating chart. You're direct line of sight now. Congratulations.
The Correspondents Association for recognizing the New York Post's reach. I've got two questions for you. One about the Guthrie case and then another about infrastructure. On the Guthrie case, does President Trump have a warning to the culprits here about what would happen to them, what federal consequences they would face if they do not release Nancy Guthrie unharmed?
I think anyone who was involved in this depraved crime, this abduction, of course, we want to be seen held to the fullest extent of the law possible.
Really should have gone in there on the no. I mean, what was this, 50-50?
Sure. Can you explain why President Trump asked Chuck Schumer to help him rename Penn Station and Dulles Airport after himself? Why is he interested in having his name on those two buildings? And why are the Gateway Tunnel funds the proper point of pressure to get that tapped?
To your first question about the renaming, why not? It was something the president floated in his conversation with Chuck Schumer. As for the funding, the president has addressed that separately himself. Danny.
Thanks, Carla. Today, the vice president's account posted and then deleted a tweet about the Armenian genocide. And then last week, President Trump's Truth
Oh, is this going to be the
Social account posted and then deleted a racist video about the Obamas. And the White House again blamed that on staffer. I wanted to ask you, does the White House have a social media problem at the moment? Do you have an auto-posting problem that's leading to these mistakes?
No. As for the Armenian tweet that you're referring to, I would just refer you back to the White House's message that was issued on Armenian Remembrance Day, and there's been no change of policy at this time. Mary?
Thanks, Caroline. When the president goes to Beijing in the spring, does he have plans to try and advocate on behalf of Jimmy Lai, who was just sentenced to 20 years yesterday?
This is something I've heard the president advocate for both publicly and privately. I had the honor of being in that meeting with President Trump and President Xi in South Korea that took place, and this was brought up by the president himself. It is important to him, and he looks forward to visiting China in April.
There's China.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Caroline.
Yeah,
so
China
some Republican lawmakers from Nebraska have said they're worried that the Argentinian beef executive order will sideline some American ranchers. How will the Trump administration make sure prices go down for consumers without harming those ranchers?
Of course. Well, both things can happen at the same time. That's the president's belief. He wants to see prices come down. In fact, I just overheard him on the phone with Secretary Rollins. They were talking about something different, but he's always saying we got to make sure that prices continue to come down. As you know, Secretary Rollins successfully did that with respect to egg prices. Beef prices are coming down slightly, and the president wants to see that continue. He believes that a minor import to the country with cattle might be a short-term solution with respect to bringing down prices. But of course, protecting our American cattle and rancher industry is a priority for
Biden is getting extremely cheap.
The president,
We're only
and he's in touch with those
in.
stakeholders. We've had them here at the White House a few times in recent months to discuss this issue directly. John.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. Yesterday, the president on social media threatened to block the new Gordie Howe Bridge, which would connect Detroit to Canada.
Here's the bridge
This is a
question.
bridge that was fully paid for by Canada. It used American labor to construct it.
There was something
someone
was talking about on the bridges.
To construct that bridge. The president in 2017 was actually in favor of this bridge, part of a joint statement that he put out when he met with the Canadian Prime Minister. Why has the president changed his mind as it relates to this bridge?
I think the president was very clear and direct in his truth, John, but just to reiterate, the fact that Canada will control what crosses the Gordie Howe Bridge and owns the land on both sides is unacceptable to the president. It's also unacceptable that more of this bridge isn't being built with more American-made materials, even more so than what President Barack Obama committed to with the Canadians at the time, at the start of the project. He also believes that the U.S. should own at least half of the bridge, have shared authority over what passes across it, and participate in the economic benefits generated by its use. This is just another example of President Trump putting America's interests first, and so he made that very clear in his call with Prime Minister Carney earlier today. Phil.
Thank you, Caroline.
Sure.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem just posted a photo of herself signing the last contract for steel. Between Laredo, Del Rio, and Big Bend, Texas, among reports that construction had stalled. Is the president satisfied with the pace of construction?
The president wants to make sure that the full border wall is built as quickly as possible, of course. I know this is a priority for him dating back to 2016. And so absolutely, he wants to ensure that the border wall is built under budget and ahead of schedule is how President Trump likes to view building projects, and that includes the building.
There's border finally. I mean,
pace of construction thus far.
So cheap. I would take border before I take Biden, honestly.
I think the president is never satisfied. He always wants to ensure that things are moving along as quickly as possible. But I know Secretary Noem is on it, and she's doing a great job.
She is going so fast in answering this. We're only 20 minutes in.
Thank you. On the Nancy Guthrie case, is the president satisfied with the federal and local investigations so far? And has there been any more contact from the White House or the president with the family?
I don't think anybody will be satisfied until this case is brought to a close and until Nancy Guthrie is returned home safely with her loved ones.
Contacts? Has the president contacted the family since?
Not since that initial phone call. Sure. Tamara.
Thank you. The National Governors Association is removing a meeting with President Trump from his agenda because only Republicans were invited. Is the White House reconsidering inviting Democrats, or do you think Republicans are still going to show up? Like, where does that stand now?
No, look, I just spoke with the president about this. It is a dinner at the White House. It's the people's house. It's also the president's home, and so he can invite whomever he wants to dinners and events here at the White House. I believe Governor Moore was invited last year, and he did not show up to the dinner last year. Nobody reported on it. But again,
someone bought this up.
The president has the discretion to invite whomever he wants to the White House, and he welcomes all those who received an invitation to come. And if they don't want to, that's their loss.
And on Ghislaine Maxwell, is the president going to rule out a pardon for her in her testimony, deposition yesterday? Her legal team seems to be making a case, again, for a pardon from the president.
Again, this is not something I've discussed with the president recently because, frankly, it's not a priority. He's focused on many of the issues that the American people are dealing with and providing solutions to those issues. So I haven't spoken with him recently. Last time we did speak about it, he said it's not something he's considering or thinking about.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bloomberg.
Thanks, Caroline. Secretary Litnick today was testifying on the Hill, and he said that he had visited Epstein's Island in 2012 with his wife and children, and that's after he said that he had cut ties with Epstein. And Justice Department documents show that he was in contact with Epstein through 2018 over messages. So does the White House stand behind Secretary Litnick right now, or given what he has said today, has there been any shift in how the White House
this could be a stupid question
is viewing Secretary Litnick?
No, Secretary Litnick remains a very important member of President Trump's team, and the president fully supports the secretary. I will just point out that there are a lot of wins in the news this week that people in this room have not asked about because you continue to ask questions about the same subject, so let me point them out for you. Again, on Friday, the Dow shattered 50,000 for the first time ever. This week, the American Society of Plastic Surgeons came out in opposition to gender mutilation surgeries for children. They are the first major medical group to do so. A federal appeals court today, nobody asked about that, just upheld the Trump administration's policy of detaining illegal aliens, validating the strong measures that have driven illegal crossings to historic lows, and sent a crystal clear message that under President Trump, if you enter the country illegally, you will be detained and removed. The murder rate, again, not a single question about this, has plunged to a 125-year low as crime falls across the board, thanks to President Trump's crime crackdown.
Is she rapping? It kind of feels like she is.
We also saw this week national median rents have fallen to a 4-year low following 6 consecutive monthly declines, and mortgage affordability has surged to a 4-year high. Home ownership is the core foundation principle of the American dream, and I will repeat that mortgage affordability this week surged to a 4-year high, but not a single mention of that in this briefing room today. And again, this came out last Friday, but for an unprecedented 9th straight month, there were 0 illegal border crossings at the southern border. So we're going to get back to business. The president is very busy today, and you will see him all tomorrow at the event in the East Room touting his administration.
Why do I hesitate? It was so obvious. She was rapping when she picked up her damn things. At least I picked up some on the nose. Man. Oh, I should have just sized up into nose when I just saw she was rapping and just put a bunch of limits out. But she also just started, like, going completely, and I was like, maybe she's gonna start reading papers or something. Pretty big missed opportunity. I mean, at least I got a few hundred on the nose there, but yeah, it was very clear she was rapping. I hesitated too much. Well, we got pretty, yeah, we kind of got beat on this one pretty hard. Lost about $300. Should not have been on stock market, no. Man, though, I just should have sized up into those no's there towards the end, as I saw she was rapping. Bad Bunny strike was at 50 cents towards the end? Are you serious? Like, how do I should have, is that actually true? Wait up. What? Bro, who bought Bad Bunny down to 50? How much volume was this on? Wait up. Okay, only 800. It was barely anything that they bought, but I should have had bids up. That is crazy. Well, I think stock market, I could have got to not taking stock market because thinking about the Trump accounts, I should have just avoided it because that's a clear way she'll say it. But all right, I mean, it was first press briefing, first mention in a while after I've been like, my brain's been fried for Super Bowl and everything. There's a Trump interview at 4. I'm definitely going to trade. I don't know if I'll stream. I just was streaming for like 3 hours, so I'll probably get some food, get prepped for Trump later today. I should take an earned vacation after Super Bowl. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for tuning in. How did I do for Super Bowl? Yeah, I had one of my best days on Super Bowl. I made $11K on Super Bowl across a ton of stuff, mostly from the announcer mentions. Robinhood earnings today? Oh, interesting. Actually, I'll take a look at those.